Hello, hello, and welcome back to C-Suite, a CEO Chat. Yes, I am Shawanna Kennedy, your host, and I'm excited to be with you today. We have had the opportunity to have some amazing people on this show. What it is we get to have the uncomfortable, yet sometimes can be fun conversations with CEOs from all over the globe, leaders, bosses, to talk about the good, the bad, and sometimes it could be a little bit ugly to sit in the seat. Today, there's a bunch of things that I get to do. One of which is I love music. I tell people, yes, I am a worshiper. I've had the opportunity to do some singing in my lifetime. And today, this young lady that is waiting in the wings, she is a multi-talented, award-winning, singer, songwriter. When I first had the opportunity to meet her, it was during a praise and worship. She was the leader, and I saw it was just her and her acoustic guitar. So I want you to welcome to the platform none other than she's a wife, she's a mother, and now she's even into her own business, and it's called Sparkle Bright. But we'll learn more about that during the interview. Won't you help me welcome to the platform, Miss Kezia Alford? Hello, 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 hello.
What's going on? What's up? Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the C-Suite. Welcome to the C-Suite. I'm excited because I know, now she's actually, I don't even know what the baby call you. Like, is it a Nana? I don't know what.
Actually, my baby is here. Grandbaby is here. She calls me Grammy.
Grammy. All right, Grammy. I know your hands is full. Your calendar is booked and busy. I want to get into this conversation. When we think about being a leader, first meeting you were leading in worship, right? And that we know that is a big responsibility for our faith-based viewers who watch the show. And I thought it was perfect to have you at such a time like this, such a season as this, and all the things that we know we could go into, which could be a whole nother show that's going on in the world. And with us understanding that even now more than ever, to be in touch with our faith, with our Creator, to help guide us and center us. But when we think about you as a leader and working, and the people who work with you, alongside you, the people that you hire, what made you even want to do this type of work?
Wow, with Sparkle Bright. Wow. Well, I, of course, me being an artist myself, I've always desired, though, always to be a part of other projects and other artists like journey. It was just something, and I was so I'm like, I can help you with that. I'm open to helping you with that wherever you're stuck, and I think that's just the ministry aspect of, me as well. Just I've always just wanted to push, encourage, and I think this is where the foundation came from. I've always had a desire just to put my 2 cents in during a musical journey, or just be involved in the studio process. I'm just let me come hang out in the wing, and just opening up that door. I had people start calling me can you help me with songwriting? I started collaborating. I started showing up to studio sessions that were not mine, just being in the room, giving my advice. And so my husband and I, we ended up opening up a film studio here in Atlanta, and a film company and a media company. And I started a service base where I was writing for the film and the documentary on that side. So I guess just took the concept of what we were doing on that end. And so, because so many people always come to me like, when are you going to open up a music company? Because I need this. So it was just the demand and also the desire that God had already had in my heart. And so that's how Sparkle Bright Music became. And Sparkle, of course, we're sparking and igniting you to move forward in your gifts. But the name Sparkle came from my mom. And so what better thing to honor my mom in this way? I've always wanted to. And so Sparkle Bright started about a year ago. So we're going into our 2nd year. To answer your question, it's just always been a desire for me to just be in a seat that I can help produce. I can operate in a midwife sense, just to birth things out in this hour, in this era.
I love it. So then I'll ask, since you are right there, where with all of the number of people that with this extended venture, right? Because of the film. And, hey, I've had even opportunity to be an extra in some stuff that y'all.
Right.
Right. That's right. So what is one story in particular that you could possibly share that it truly and where you could see where the impact came from one of the projects that you possibly were on?
I'll speak of a project just right now because I'm front and center. A lady that I'm working with, she hasn't come out with music in 15 years. She thought it was buried. She's been through so much, so much with music in her life and ministry. Can you imagine, being in your, I would say, late 20s, and now you're kind of going into the 50 mark, right? It's kind of been that span. So much life has happened that the enemy actually told her, that's dead, that's gone. I mean, don't even worry about music. But just me starting this company and people, gaining trust and knowing that it's a safe place to come to. They referred my company to her, and she called. We had a consult call, and just talking about life and where she was, and what happened in the process, and how she knows, like, within, I think before our consult call, she had some prayer warriors praying for her, and because God was already sparking that thing, he was already like calling her out of the dust, calling her arise to what he has for her right now in this new era. Because the Lord, and I'm not saying the men didn't have a call, but the Lord is shifting women. He's waking up those gifts, those things that were buried. He's calling those things to become alive. And so even before our call that we had, probably a week or two prior to, I'm just going to call a number. It was really short time frame. The Lord had intercessors to pray for her. When she, that night when she went to sleep, she kind of had a whole awakening. She heard songs, started writing. 2 weeks or so later, the Lord linked her up with my company. I'm like, let's roll. Within a month, I'm talking about, this was dead for years, almost 15, 20 years. Within a month, we had our album done. She was in the studio. She was recording. She knows that the Lord was orchestrating this thing. But the one thing about Sparkle Bright, and one thing about me, I take it, it's such an honor that he would choose me to pick that up. And that's what I'm doing. I'm picking up. God is using me as a tool to resurrect, to encourage, to say, listen, you have to complete an assignment. You have to know these are assignments that the Lord has, because in this time that we're in, the Lord is using media, the media mountain, the music, the arts and entertainment mountain, to get his word across. And why wouldn't he use you to do so? And so this has been I was listening to the last mix and master of this project. And I was thanking God this morning. I'm like, Lord, thank you for me. And just me not being a selfish person, to take a seat to shift over to help birth out. Because I know my assignment is not just for me to be in the forefront, not just for me to be an artist, all about Kezia, book me and travel. No, it's about discipleship. It's about mentoring others. It's about raising up others. It's about birthing out, because I know my complete assignment. I know what that is, and that's to help push others. This is why would I allow someone to cross my path that has a purpose, that has let die? Come on now. I say, listen, we have to die empty. It is an assignment that we carry. And Sparkle Bright is so much more than a transaction. It's so much more, because we know, we know it costs to make music. But I'm telling you, the process and the experience that you would get, I mean, I'm just so excited how God has just made it such a unique experience, and allowed me to know so many people that when you come to me with anything, we can make it happen. And the experience that you have with me, my team, and the studios, all the way into the final product. I mean, God is just all over that thing. And I was actually teary-eyed just listening to her record this morning. I'm like, Lord, thank you that you put her in my path to complete an assignment. I mean, that's heavy. That's some heavy stuff. So I'm just excited that that's just one of so many testimonies that I've had. Even you, Shawanna, we've had so many things. We'll keep that on me and you. But listen, just the depth of the conversation about, listen, you know, I needed this. So I can, you know, you did a reimagine of a song you did how many years ago?
Actually, it would be, she would be going on 20, but I love that you already know. If you don't know, you just tuning in. I'm super excited because the Kezia Alford is here in the studio. We will be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Kennedy Media, your ultimate partner in content creation, video recording, and digital marketing. Be seen, be heard, and increase visibility in your business. Contact us today at KennedyMediaLLC.com, KennedyMediaLLC.com, and unlock your brand's full potential.
Welcome back again. I'm Shawanna Kennedy, joined with Kezia Alford. We are talking music. We're talking all things music. And I love when you just gave the thought behind one of the many people that you've had the opportunity to help them see some things come to fruition, stir up the gift. I'll put it that way, stir up the gift that God has put on the inside of them. And you were actually getting ready to even mention me, where we were talking about, even with me recently. So I'll say it, not even a shameless plug. Honestly, with the music that you currently within it hasn't even been 6 months. It hasn't even been 6 months now. Almost 6 months ago. And it recently was released on all social media platforms, on all digital platforms. Made to Worship Reimagined. There it is right there. Made to Worship Reimagined. I was super excited to do that project. And when you were talking about how God leads you to help and to pour into other people, I'm grateful because meeting you several years ago, and then God then speaking to me the same way you said how he began to talk to your other client, and how, you know, bringing you together to help her to birth that. I feel that it was in this particular season, as it relates to my music, that I was led to actually partner with you and Sparkle Bright to bring this song in a more reimagined way. Hence why, 20 years from the original recording to being able to go step back into the studio with Sparkle Bright, you and your amazing team. It was really good. It was good for me. I can't wait for the rest of the world to, now that it's available on all platforms, for the world to see, to hear it. And because we need it in a time like this, when you think about leadership, right? Because if we're leaders, right? People count on us, they listen to us. When you think about being a leader, how is that for you as it relates to, what are some key factors in your success when you think about a leader? Because there's some other people that may say, I could do it myself. What would you say to that person to say, well, I could do it myself?
You can do it yourself. You know, a lot of people, I mean, I just think about, like, even a ministry aspect. You can't do everything yourself. Collaboration in the kingdom is key. Maybe you can do everything by yourself, but I'm telling you, things will be easier when you have people in place with the skills. Because it's different parts and pieces of putting a song together. You know, everybody, maybe you can sing well, but you may need some help with collaboration on that song. Because a good song, you can sing all day long, but if it's not a good song, or it's not, you know, written really correctly, let's talk about that aspect. I mean, a good written song can go a long ways. So you may need some collaboration on songwriting, which is something that we offer as well. You may not know how to get behind that. You probably can pull up GarageBand or something like that on your computer, or whatever these, DAWs that you could work. But, you know, there's professionals that's in place that can help you go to another level, a professional commercial produced product. So yeah, you probably can do it all by yourself, but working with more professionals that's experienced in this, that's used to doing it with years behind their belts, Grammy and Dove Award winning professionals, we can help you get to another level. So I think about how, the preacher that say, I can do it, I can do all this by myself. I can open up a church, I can greet, I can do all this. But what if you opened up where people can collaborate with you, and it's kingdom? We need, the head, the arm, the legs, the feet. We need all of these parts to work properly. So, yeah.
No, I love it. I love it, because it is with the things that, look, I'm graced to do. I already knew that certain parts of that, even though I could, like you said, look, piece it together. I didn't want to have that strain on me. And that's the thing that we need to think about in the things that we get to do, knowing when, as a leader, knowing when to bring in people to help.
Knowing where to bring people in to help. That is a big thing. Listen, the thing you need to be focused on is singing. Let us handle the rest. And I'm telling you, it'll be so much better. I've heard some stories that people that want to do everything themselves, and they like, I don't know what happened. Well, I know what happened.
Right.
You needed some help. The way that I could grow our ministry and the things that we do, we have a team, we have a team. And so it takes a team. We have workers, we have contractors to be successful, because we can't do it all.
No, I love it. And hey, here's witness sitting in the seat to say that I've witnessed the expertise. And I know you heard her. Yes, because she is an award winning. Look, you name it. I've seen you. What? Didn't you do you've been in Nashville doing a bunch of stuff, commercials.
So many things. Yeah. I just recently, so many things. I thank God, from, winning awards at the Grand Ole Opry, from Dove Award nomination, and so many different things. I just joined a group that has over 50,000 members. A Woman's Journey just won an award for there. So there's been I've been in this thing for, almost 20 years. So I have so many accolades and so many wonderful things that God has done for me. I can't name all of them on here, but I know that I had the ability to switch to seats that I've switch to and create this company and make good choices, make good executive choices for you, things that you don't have to worry about. And then when you don't know and you start making moves and spending money, sometimes you'll waste money because you really don't know what direction to go in. And so my team can help you with that.
I love it. I'm telling you, if you're looking, you listening, and you got a song in your heart that you really know that the masses need to hear, Sparkle Bright is definitely the company that you want to work with, because you hear how Kezia is she's so humble. She's like so humble. Like, oh yes, we've done those. We've got awards. We've have nominations. Yeah, we've done that. And that really is the spirit in which you carry into the studio. So I commend you as a leader. When you think about as a leader, being able to have that heart, right? Having that heart. And then we know too, it's even being in that seat to even know the people that they may not be your people. They may not even be people because we can't accept all the work that may present itself to us. So as a leader, what have you found when you think about things like that? What was one of the toughest lessons that you found in being in this role?
One of the toughest lessons, you have to let people know that I had to make a difference, like understand the difference of being an artist and, a businesswoman. So just making the best business decisions as well for my clients, and some things that they thought that was right. But I'm like, no, you want to trust, the advice that I'm giving you. And so just, leaning in. So letting them know that let's go this way. I know you may feel that we should go this way, but I'm telling you, because I can see a little bit longer than you, because I've been in it for a long time. So just, that part.
Yeah. That can be tough because like you said, you having more than the 10,000 hours, as they say, and you've been on both sides. You've been on both sides of the microphone. You've been on both sides of in the studio. And it is really leaning into that expertise and what a person really needs. And then they have to trust the process. It's like trusting the process with that. You're trusting the process. And as a leader, us trusting the process of what that, what that looks like. Now, I do have to ask you, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, what does that look like when you think about, because you have a family, and even in this climate that we're in, do you believe that will affect the business, even with the current climate? Some people may be more hesitant, or like we like to say, that'll be another excuse for someone to not step out on the thing that they know that this is truly the season that they should be producing something, right? Whether it's film, whether it's music.
I would always take it as, if you see things, the climate is changing. Yes, indeed. A lot of things are changing and switching. This should be a time where you should run to what you have, because that it's a big shift that's happening in the earth. And do you have time? I don't know. Do you? I don't think we have as much time as we used to. And so you want to make sure that you do what God has called you to do on this earth before your time is up, before our time is up. And how could you go wrong with doing something that God has called you to do? You will not go wrong. You can't regret something that God has assigned you to do. I would say it's all in, it would all be in your head as far as what it looks like success for you or your purpose. But the thing is, if you're doing what God has called you to do, God has called you to do this song, that God has called you to do whatever it is and move forward in it, you're on the right track. And if you can look at the spiritual climate around us, you'll know that time is winding up. Are you doing what God has called you to do? So that's what me and my husband, why we have our companies, to help you do what God has called you to do in a very great professional way. So, amen.
Yeah, I love it, because when I say state of the art, and the partners that you have, they're award winning themselves, right? And so those are the things too. It's like the whole team and what you bring. It's like knowing what you do as a business, being a leader, and not only having the education and knowledge, but then having the partners to work with you in what it is that you do. That is important for you business owner, you entrepreneur, the things that you're saying, what are some of the things that you can do? And that's what I'll even say, having the opportunity to present a show such as this. It's even with all of the different elements and things, it's just like making a movie. Some people don't even think about graphics. Some people don't even think about the intros, the outros, the movie, the music. All of those things are layers into our business, and then how our businesses are presented. Look online, right? Online. It's like one of the first things that they see and they hear. It's even curating the music. Hello. We talking about music today. Curating the music that even will spark something in individuals to even make them say, hey, what is it about that music, that show to do that? So I love that, because I already know what some of the things that people don't even understand too, as it relates to music. Reason why, and I've been told and even read that with music, it's in another part of our memory. That's why we can hear a song. You can't even remember nothing else that went on during that time period, but you could hear a song and it could put you back in a place and time, because that is kept in a separate part of our memory bank. And that's even the importance of music. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. And those are the things that I think about. It's like, where does it put you? Not necessarily even in a rage, because we don't want people out here, crazy, but it's thinking about, what does that look like? I know, we've done, and we've even said a lot in the music, in the business itself, because to me, it moves in so many different ways. The things that I've done in music it's been able to be used throughout other things in my business.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that, you know, so even for me, we're not even using me as the example, but because I'm here and I know the experience, I'm able to take some of those things. I'm able to take some of those pieces and then say, hey, you know what? This is perfect for my show. This music, which makes it all comes together, whether you're in front of the camera, behind the camera, whether it's audio, whether it's visual, those things, like even like you said, talking about music, and you mentioned, of course, part of what you get to do with your husband is documentaries and film. What does that look like? Talk to that person for a minute.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I just had a pop-up this past weekend, and it was so great. We talked about those opportunities. You know, it's not just, recording a song is just 10% of the work, right? There's so many opportunities now, you know, for monetization, from YouTube, you know, from TikTok still on, I believe so. TikTok clips and, you know, just people doing reels with your music. It's not just, you know, radio or Spotify or anything. Like my husband has a film company, people that's done music with me, that we produce their music, we're going to them first to see if this music would fit into the films that we're doing, the documentaries, the short film, the feature films, whatever we're doing in film, we're taking those songs and seeing where can we plug this in? Well, that's extra money. You know, that's sync placement. When you go and talk about movies and gaming and anything you could use it, music just, you can use music for anything these days. Even, you know, I've done podcasts, you know, short clips for podcasts. Your music can be synced for that. It's all different types of ways. If you want to talk about the money aspect, it's so many different ways to you know, to make money through your music, through like 10-second clips, or, you know, you got a 3-minute song, but there's so many different ways, you know, to monetize your music. And when I do the network that I just created, it's called Sparkle Bright Music Network. Those are the things we talk about. We bring industry professionals in to tell you about, you know, royalties and how to monetize and opportunities that you can have for sync placements. So, you know, I would say just stay encouraged, you know, even though the things are shifting and, you know, you may not see, well, I don't know, see how I can get a return. Because people want to know, you know, if I invest this money, how can I get return on my investment? But there's so many different ways you can do so, even with performing and, you know, and selling merch and just so many different ways, you know. Also, just, I was telling Shawanna, you know, bringing people to your fan base into your world and not just release the streaming straight off, you know, so many different things you could do. So I would say just be encouraged in what God has called you to do. It's not about monetizing anyway, even though that's the business aspect, but it's just first doing what God has called you to do. You know, and let me tell you how you know that you need to do something. You have something on the inside of you, a desire. You have something that's pulling at you that just won't leave you. Is it that song that God won't shake that you didn't complete? Is it that book? I don't know. Is it that film? Whatever it is, I'm telling you, the reason why you know it won't leave you is because the Lord has called you to complete that thing. So pick back up what God has called you to, and don't be afraid. There's people, you may say, well, how can I don't even know, you know, maybe it's not me that can help you. Maybe it's something else that you're dealing with. But I'm telling you, if you pick it back up and have the faith to know God already have the people in place and the resources for you to help move. But how you know if you don't take that first step forward? Faith without works is dead. So have that work so God can connect the people to you, and the faith that you need to complete the assignment. Listen, don't let time pass you by. And you may say, I don't even know if, you know, I've waited so long. It's been 20 years. Well, listen, I always tell people the Lord, he's the redeemer of time. Don't worry about all the time that's passed. We're looking forward and the things that God has for you forward in the now. He's going to supernatural. You have to believe that he's going to supernaturally do things for you now. Wait, why? Because this is just the era that we're in. And if you could have the confidence to connect your faith, what God has already called you to. I believe by faith, God is going to do it for you. It's going to be different this time. It's going to be different. Supernatural acceleration. I'm believing that for you, for whoever that's on here right now. I'm not hooping and hollering. I can hoop and holler, but I'm telling you, there is an assurance in my spirit that whoever that will connect to this podcast, this video, this call, this suite, this CEO chat, that there is something special for you. It's not by accident, and it's not cliche that I'm saying this. The Lord is going to do it for you. It's going to be different this time. Just believe. Just believe. I'm telling you, shift your mind and believe that God, whatever God is calling you to in this new era, God has already lined up the people for you to help you. Reach out to me. I'll be happy to talk to you about the next step for you.
I love it. Y'all see, I'm so grateful. I'm truly grateful to be able to have these conversations, these chats with amazing people, because, you know, a lot of times we bring things forth to help the viewers, but when you really look at it, it's actually things to help keep us going. It's things to help keep us fueled. It's to help educate us on the things that we get to do. I said we get to do because God could choose. He could use anybody. And I appreciate you so much for pausing, because I know your day is packed, but I do appreciate you for pausing, guys. We need to thank Kezia Alford for coming. I'm going to make sure that you have all of the Sparkle Bright information. Look right here in the comments, in the description. So make sure you follow her. Make sure you give us a like. Make sure you give us a share. I'm just excited. So I thank you again, Kezia, for pausing, for the cause to step by and stop by C-Suite, the CEO chat. Kezia, don't you go nowhere. Let me get them out of here. You see that it's a lot that can be done. So it doesn't matter what industry, what are you doing that you know this is the season. I know that things could be looking scary right now, but that's all the more reason that you need to buckle in and get ready to fight what you know that you have been called to do. It could be music. You already see we have a seasoned professional right here that is amongst us who can help you, especially no matter what you're doing, whether it's virtual, even local. What is it that you know you should be doing in this season that is requiring you to go all in when it feels like this could be a time for you to retreat? That is not what we're called to do. I want you to know that I appreciate you. That's right, for all of the shares, the likes, the subscribing to this show, following me. And you may be the very next guest, who may actually even appear here on C-Suite, the CEO chat. But I do appreciate you so much. What should you be doing today that your future self will thank you for? I will see you again on our next episode of C-Suite, the CEO chat.
This episode is brought to you by Kennedy Media, your ultimate partner in content creation, video recording, and digital marketing. Be seen, be heard, and increase visibility in your business. Contact us today at KennedyMediaLLC.com, KennedyMediaLLC.com, and unlock your brand's full potential.